3 people had to go to the hospital in Crystal early Monday morning after what police called a domestic situation. Reporter Jason Malello explains more.
Crystal police arrived here at the Cedarwood Apartments adjacent to Becker Park early Monday morning to find a man and 2 women suffering from knife wounds. A 911 call came in around 1:30 a.m. on Monday with someone screaming for help. Police were on the scene quickly, and the injured people were treated on the scene and transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Crystal police are still investigating, but believe this is an isolated domestic violence incident. The injured male was detained pending charges. In Crystal, Jason Malillo, CCX News.
Brooklyn Park police are investigating a shooting that happened Sunday afternoon and sent 1 man to the hospital. Police say they were dispatched to a shooting at Central Park and found an adult male with a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. The suspect had already run away. The man was treated and released from the hospital, and officers are still investigating what happened. With most students back in the classroom now, some schools are starting off the year with bold collaborative team efforts. Nina Bupasavan takes us to Northview Middle School in today's School Spotlight.
Number 1, we're going to update our student planners.
Masked and tasked this fall,
I want to make sure we get used to how to do those.
Northview Middle School is on a mission to improve the overall health of its students despite COVID. Northview Assistant Principal Alex Berg knows students need to feel their best to do their best.
I've always had a lot of night pride myself, but the last year in particular with COVID and the many societal issues, just everything, has really bolstered that pride. I have seen our staff rally together. We model it, night pride, in our own actions as staff. We teach it, we reteach it, we encourage it, we recognize it, and then we celebrate it.
So that's something we're going to keep practicing.
A climate the middle school is cultivating in programs like AVID, so students, no matter where they come from, know where they want to go.
I want to go to Stanford University after high school, then go to medical school.
I want to become a doctor, is a family and general practitioner.
So thinking, asking questions.
In our real world, it's more than just academic skills now when you go to jobs. They're looking for executive functioning skills, so time management, organization, flexible thinking. It's not just about doing the job, the task, it's about how you do it.
So think really quick.
I want them to know that I truly want the best for them. I want them to see their full potential.
And to remind students they're also human.
AVID had a really big impact on me, so it made me feel like I had a safe space to be myself. And it also showed me a lot of skills that I would probably use in the future.
As with all good things in life, helping hands go a long way too. Northview's school counseling program is one of the first to be nationally recognized.
Our district has really invested in our K through 12 programming for school counselors, and not every district has that. So our students get access to a school counselor as kindergartners, as first graders, and we're able at each level to continue to build those skills and really make an impact not only on our students but on our families and our greater school community, which is really important to us, especially here at Northview.
We know that students can achieve at high levels with high amounts of support, and we know that no significant learning happens without a significant relationship.
A community of sincere connection, helping students plant seeds of greatness for years to come. In Brooklyn Park, Nina Bupasavan, CCX News.
A partnership between Allina Health and Free Bikes for Kids Minnesota collects bikes and gives them away to kids in need. CCX reporter Jason Malillo shares how one Maple Grove couple takes part.
Deb Fortner started volunteering with the nonprofit Free Bikes for Kids MN more than a decade ago.
It took me like 5 years to figure out, well, I could be collecting bikes.
This year, Deb's collected more than 1,000. Big bikes, little bikes, broken bikes, hardly used bikes.
Deb's truly amazing. There's nobody that comes close to getting 1,000 bikes like Deb, but there are a lot of people that are dedicated like Deb.
Deb and her husband Tom use their Maple Grove property to store the bikes until they're donated to Free Bikes for Kids MN.
You kind of get hooked on it when you see the opportunity for when these kids come and pick out bikes.
The condition of the donated bikes does vary, but even the ones that are in rough shape can usually be fixed up for a kid in need. Allison and John Freeze just moved to Deb's neighborhood a couple months ago.
We were just driving by and I was like, whoa, wow, I couldn't believe it.
The Freezes went home and got their daughter Evelyn's old bike and added it to the Fortner's Haul.
Even now, like I think with COVID, it's hard to find bikes, and there's going to be lots of happy kids who will receive these.
When she's not scouring the metro for bikes, Deb Fortner is a behavioral health nurse at Unity Hospital. As a frontline worker, Deb felt the stress of the pandemic more than most. Continuing to collect bikes became therapeutic.
It actually was a greater help because it was something that you could focus on that was positive, that you were doing something positive and, putting forth energy to make a difference.
In Maple Grove, Jason Malillo, CCX News.
Before there were boutique fitness classes featuring cycling or hot yoga, there was Jazzercise. And thanks to a pair of business partners, there will continue to be a Jazzercise option here in the northwest suburbs.
We have a lot of fun here. We work really hard, but we have a lot of fun. We call it fitness in disguise, right? We are always smiling. It's mainly because we're constantly moving to the beat of the music.
Ned Marburger and Missy Kloster renovated a space on Lancaster Lane in Maple Grove to open a Jazzercise location. They celebrated the grand opening with 4 free classes that resonated with participants.
I love Jazzercise because of the community. Every time I come, I leave happier than when I walked in the door. And I love to dance.
And in case you didn't know, Jazzercise is more than just dance. It's a mix of strength, plyometrics, and core work. We'll leave you today with more video from Saturday's grand opening.
Wayzata's football team came into the season with high expectations. The 4th-ranked Trojans figured to be tested when they hosted number 3 STMA. Jason Malillo has the story.
At Wayzata High School, the 4th-ranked Trojans hosting 3rd-ranked St. Michael Albertville. First quarter, Wayzata puts together an 80-yard drive culminating with a touchdown run by Julian Alfaro Diedrich for a 7-0 lead. Later in the first, the offensive line opens a nice hole for Alfaro Diedrich, and he's in the end zone again for a 14-0 lead. Second quarter, guess who? Alfaro Diedrich spins away from a couple of defenders and zips 25 yards for another score. The Trojans go to the break with a 21-7 lead. Fourth quarter, and it's a 4th trip to the house for Alfaro Diedrich. A 5-yard scamper puts Wayzata up 28-14. The senior would add another touchdown late for a 5 TD night. And the Wayzata defense is solid all the way. Tommy Heyman with the strip sack, and Dominic Heim recovers for the Trojans as they roll to a 34-14 victory and are now 3-0. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
Maple Grove's football team came into week 3 with a 2-0 record and hosted an opponent that had also started the year 2-0.
The 7th-ranked Maple Grove football team at home to take on number 8 Minnetonka. First quarter, and Crimson quarterback Jacob Kilzer on the keeper. He gets to the outside and wins the race to the end zone. 25 yards and a touchdown on a big night for the junior. Later in the quarter, it's Kilzer with a drop back, and he dumps it off to Derek Jameson on the screen pass. He has blockers and finds a seam to get to the end zone. 30 yards on this score, and it's 14-0. Second quarter, and ahead 14-7, the Crimson strike through the air again. Sam Peters running free in the secondary. It's a 48-yard touchdown pass to put Maple Grove up 21-7. The Crimson defense creates a turnover on the next Tonka drive. The ball is out on the quarterback keeper, and after they unpile, it's Cade Cook with the fumble recovery for Grove, setting up a short scoring drive. Kilzer scrambling. He takes off running and reaches for the pylon and gets in for an 8-yard touchdown. Kilzer added another TD run, and it's 35-7 Maple Grove at halftime. No scoring in the second half, but plenty of good defense for Maple Grove, in particular number 45, Mason South. The senior defensive end finishes the game with 8 tackles for loss, including 5 quarterback sacks, as Maple Grove improves to 3-0 on the season with a 35-7 win.
Robbinsdale district rivals Cooper and Armstrong met for the first time since 2018 in football. As Jay Wilcox reports, it was a tale of 2 halves.
Armstrong coming in 2-0 as they face Robbinsdale district rival Cooper in football for the first time in 3 years. The Hawks 1-1 coming in. And Cooper starts it out in style. David Connors fields the opening kickoff on one bounce and works his way across the field. Connors gets good blocking and then makes one cutback on the way to an 82-yard touchdown return. The celebration is on as the Hawks quickly go up 7-0.
What a start for Cooper!
Armstrong answers as Jamin Malone throws the fade pass to Peyton Newburn, who makes a nice catch. The first of 2 TDs for Newburn. The game is tied 14-14 at halftime. But Willie Howard's Hawks dominate the second half. A great read by Nehemiah Ponder on the screen pass as he picks it off and goes 25 yards for the touchdown. Cooper leads for good early in the third quarter. 5 minutes later, Joe Russell throws deep for Connors. It's almost picked off, but Connors stays with it and makes a juggling catch and fights off a tackler to score to make it 28-14 Cooper. After they intercept another pass, Camden Royal takes it in for the touchdown. Cooper outscores Armstrong 35-0 in the second half to win 49-14. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.